Alright guys, thank you for checking in with Stormtopia.com and the Stormtopia.com Facebook page. Alright, the major storm currently going on in the Midwest getting itself started has my full attention, and in this video, I'm going to discuss it in detail, and if I have your full attention, then you should know everything you need to know. Alright guys, currently a very warm Indian summer pattern for a lot of the east, and we just had a major storm move through the west coast. Behind that is cooler air. So with both of these colliding and what's left of the low pressure center over the plains, you'd think, well, this is a setup for a pretty big storm, and that's what's currently happening. You see the clouds gathering in the central part of our nation. So I'm going to go through time here on the NAM model. You see, by the time we get out to later tonight, that heavy rain that we've been talking about, getting itself started with this storm system, is starting to lighten up through the southern and central Rockies, and the storm center is starting to get better organized over Omaha, over southeastern South Dakota this evening. Beginning to be a severe weather threat is also for tomorrow. We're going to get to that in just a second. By the time we make our way out to early Tuesday morning, heavy rain just sweeping up through the Twin Cities area. Much drier air, cooler air sweeping back into the central plains. It's still warm enough in the southern plains for no frost, but there will be a killing frost in Kansas. And not many big changes by Tuesday morning for a lot of the east. That changes by Tuesday afternoon. By the time this storm system moves up, probably around Duluth, Minnesota, there's going to be a major severe weather outbreak for a lot of the Ohio Valley. Here's the Storm Prediction Center's outlook. You say, Nick, wow, moderate, that's pretty high. Well, we want the details. Well, if you want the details, unfortunately, I will not discuss them in this video, just in the interest of time. But go to Stormtopia.com, and we do have a detailed discussion written by our affiliate, our forecaster in Texas, Zachary Bellard. He has done a great forecast discussion that is available on Stormtopia.com if you're interested in the severe weather threat. I digress. By later Tuesday, storm center is starting to move up into to southern Manitoba. Severe weather outbreak continues for a lot of the areas just west of the Appalachians, southern Appalachians by extreme early Wednesday morning and by later Tuesday night. At that point, the rain is starting to lighten up. It's starting to mix with snow and changes over to snow for most of the northern plains, especially North Dakota, where there could be a widespread 1 to 4 inches, with some areas getting up to 5 inches in the higher elevations. Especially the areas that change to snow first, later Tuesday night. Those are the areas that have the best chance of getting heavier sticking snowfall, but it all depends on whether or not it sticks. The models do agree that by the time we get out to by the time we get out to Wednesday, the cold air will be sweeping in behind the storm as it moves up into James Bay, and we will have a cold spell for the Midwest. Now, a cold spell, you say, "Whoa, Nick, we get these big storms, and behind them it usually gets cold, right?" Right, but this is going to be an exception. Unfortunately, what's going to happen, I mean, I say unfortunately, but this is fortunate for the people who, I guess, like warm weather. I am certainly not counted. Here's the storm what's left of the storm over James Bay. It's exiting. We're done with it. Behind it, cooler air into the northeast. Cool air is starting to exit the Midwest. Well, that didn't very last long, that cold spell. This is a spell, not a pattern. And you say, whoa, you look over to the west, and we're back to a warm ridging pattern here with high pressure. So that's the point I just want to make out to you guys, that this storm will not change the pattern. We will return to a relatively warm and dry pattern for the west, other than this new storm that we're watching, perhaps by next weekend. And perhaps another interesting pattern for the east involving warm and cold weather. Alright guys, stay tuned to Stormtopia.com. I hope you enjoy this video. Please spread the word about our website, and have a great day.